Hello kids, welcome to Kids Mind, where we come to laugh, learn and explore. Today with your teacher Alvin here, where I'm going to take you through art. Please, after you enjoy, you may follow us at GBS TV Africa, SMS line 21144. And today we are going to need a piece of paper or a drawing book like so, a pencil and a rubber. And so today we are going to draw a girl's face. So coming to the center of your page, you are going to try and sketch a circle. And if you can't sketch a circle freehand, you can just be free and use any circular object or a cup. So after drawing a circle, we may now divide the circle with a straight line in the middle, coming to a certain point. Having girl's face are not as long. And so after drawing that, we may now come to the side of our circle and try to make up the face. And a girl's face is not as sharp as most boys' face. After drawing this, we can now try to make the face to be equal with the other side. After drawing that, we can now come to this point of the circle and divide it with a straight line, forming like a quarter. And so right here, we can now divide the head, knowing that here will be the nose and right below it a bit will be the mouth, and the gap in between here is where we're going to put our ears. And we are going to draw the ears in an oval-like shape, like that. After drawing the ears, we can now rub the part of the circle that we don't need anymore. After drawing it, we can now come to the center of the eye and draw like, and having the eyes are one eye width away apart from each other, we can draw an alien eye like so to place in a few gaps. And then from each corner of the eye, we can now draw in a few lines. Having the eye is usually in a rhombus shape. We should draw now that shape over to your piece of paper. And you can practice if your eyes are, as you look at them, are not even. Or after drawing one of them, you can draw a line to at least assist you to know where you're going to place your other eye. And so after drawing the rhombus, you can now rub the middle line. And I'm going to make this eye to be a bit shorter than the other one. Later on, you are going to make the hair to come curving around the eye. And after shading a bit of the guidelines on the eye, we can now come and curve the eye. Let me just show you on the other end. We are going to curve the eye to make it a bit rounder and curved, not as sharp as the guideline. So that's what we are going to try and do. And after curving the eye, we can now erase a bit of the side right here and place it in shape. After doing that, we can now try to rub in the guidelines that were there and try to add some more shape to the eye. After drawing that eye, we now can repeat the process but only do it halfway, having that later on we are going to divide the eye with some hair. After drawing that, we can now come to the eye and make a big pupil and a few dots like the previous drawing. After drawing that way, we are going to add like some glitter effects and add another line on the side and repeat the same process on the other eye. And so you should have such a product. And now we're going to try and darken the eye for the eyelids right over here, and try to make the eyes top part a bit darker. After darkening it a bit, we can now add the eyebrows later on, but first you should place in some of the details of the eye. After doing that, we can now add some few lines on the bottom of the eye to show where the lines will going to be for later on. And then we can now draw in a thin eyebrow, kind of curving like that, making the top part to be a bit dark. What is going, it's going to fade like that. After carving it like that, after carving the eyebrow out, we're going to try and copy it on the other side like that. After doing that, we are going to now darken a few of the lines where the face is going to be. For later on when rubbing, we don't have any problem. After drawing that, we can now rub the lines that were in the eye like that. After rubbing even the center line, we can now start drawing a bit. We can now make the nose to come a bit lower, like a bit somewhere there. Let's mark it. And now our mouth, and the mouth is going to come up a bit like that. After drawing that, we can now curve the lower lip. Having the lips should be curved and not too sharp or too long, like that. So after drawing that, we are going to draw a small curve for the nose. And now go to the ears. For the ears, we are going to draw a bit. We are going to draw a few lines to show the parts that are inside the ear. Not too detailed, but do not leave it blank. Having it will look a bit weird. And so we can now come and draw the earrings. You can draw any style you want, but for me, I'm going to go with this design of earrings. And on the other side as well, I'm going to try and repeat the same thing and sketch it a bit downwards like that. And then we're going to rub the top part of our head. Having now it's time for the hair. And for the hair, we are going to try and use some thin lines like that and try to curve them in to a certain point. And some we are going to be getting longer and longer, and others are going to be shorter than the rest. After drawing some of them, we can now come with some other ones that are a bit short and others longer, and then curve onto the other side of the face to give in some detail. And we can come down here and add some more hairs here for more detail and curve it out. After curving it out like that, we are going to try and bring back all that hair towards the middle, you're going to try and make the girl have a small ponytail. And so most ponytails are like S-shaped like that, and so we are going to try to make it S-shaped with another side of the S coming in out like that. And so we can try. After coming to a certain height, you can now draw the S shape of the hair, knowing where the hair is going to come, and feel free to rub where you see that you have made a mistake. So we are going to erase a bit of the top part, and we are going to make the hair come in downwards like that. And so we are going to make some of the hair feel like as if it wasn't tied pretty well, and we are going to add some more hair coming down that way, forming there. And from here we can now bring in the neck and shrink the neck that way. After drawing the head, we can now place an outline of where her clothes are and a bit of the collar like that. And so now for the hair, we can now darken out the lines, making the hair to be perfectly dark a bit on the sides, and so that we can now see our hair. After drawing the hair like that, we can now erase later on some of the guidelines that are still visible on some sides. After erasing some of the guidelines so that you can keep your work neat. After erasing the hairlines, we can now continue darkening our hair, and as we darken the hair, we can now add a few lines to make the hair feel as if it's a bit messy. And if you can move on to the coloring of the hair and anything else you can add to your girl. After darkening the hair, we are now done with the hair part of our girl, and we should erase the guidelines that are now visibly seen, like from the center of the eye, and we can now make our girl as to be seeming crying. So you can make the tear to come down like that, and rolling down her chin like that. Same for the other eye, like that. You can also darken it as well to make the art look nice. And now you are done with your girl after drawing some few shapes to make her to be done. And so that's all we're going to do today. If you want to shade, you can shade her. And thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to follow us at our SMS at GBS TV Africa, SMS line 21144. Thank you and have a lovely day. Bye.